Glass, cement, concrete. What associations do you have when you hear these words? That's right. Construction, house. The capital of Kazakhstan today is one huge construction site where hundreds of residential complexes, hotels, schools, hospitals, and various unique buildings are being erected every day. Nur-Sultan rightfully sets new trends in construction, and today I will tell you how innovations are being introduced there in the country's main city. Hello, this is the new episode of the Made in Kazakhstan project. My name is Anton Fedorov, and we are starting. Watch in today's episode. What stages must the glass undergo to get to the construction site? Can you assemble an apartment building like a constructor? We will visit a unique production facility. I will also tell you how Kazakh specialists produce dry building mixtures that make our houses beautiful and comfortable. Every year, millions of square meters of housing are put into operation in the capital of Kazakhstan. New social, cultural, and sports facilities appear. How they manage to provide such a large market with high-quality building materials? For this, enterprises of the required profile operate in the special economic zone of Nur-Sultan. There are 13 economic zones in Kazakhstan. In Nur-Sultan, the Janakala Special Economic Zone occupies approximately 74% of the total volume of production. About half of the taxes are paid by our industrial residents. I think these are quite high figures, and today we are the oldest SEZ, which has existed for more than 20 years. The Special Economic Zone of the capital of Kazakhstan has the production of all materials necessary for construction. Moreover, the latest equipment introduced in the modern factories significantly increases productivity and ensures high-quality products. Let's start our research with a glass production facility. The history of glass is approximately 6,500 years old. The first samples of this material were found in the tombs of the ancient Egyptian pharaohs. Glass is a demanded product of the life of a modern person, from mobile phone screens to huge stained glass windows of skyscrapers. Glass is used in almost all industrial areas. But before getting to a construction site or an apartment, glass must go through certain preparation stages. I came to the enterprise where this process takes place with the help of modern technologies. I would like to note that this plant does not produce glass itself. Very expensive, high-tech and sophisticated technologies are required to manufacture glass. Therefore, so far in Kazakhstan there are no factories for the production of just such sheet glass. There are enterprises that manufacture glass containers or some medical glass products. Yet, local specialists haven't mastered such a flat, industrial glass. So, production of this enterprise begins with the supply of raw materials to the plant. Unloading material is a responsible process and requires strict control. It is important not to damage the glass because it needs to get to construction sites. In general, glass is a very fragile material for work, so it must be monitored, taking into account all the requirements. Glass is very susceptible to external influences from the sun, wind, temperature changes. The plant has a special covered warehouse where glass is delivered as raw material and the entire production process begins. So a special temperature is maintained in this warehouse so that the glass does not deteriorate and is protected from external influences. Each batch of glass is first stored in the warehouse. Then the glass is sent to the conveyor lines where it gets required size and shape. Notice how big a sheet of solid glass is. Its length is 6 meters, height is 3 meters 20 centimeters. In this form, glass is not used anywhere in the world because it is too large, and if the wind blows on it, it will function as a sail and, of course, may break. For industrial purposes, it must first be cut into fragments of the required size. The production of glass items requires special clarity of actions. Modern technologies help to process the material carefully. This device with a special laser tip cuts the glass according to the patterns. The program has been installed into the computer, and the task of the plant staff members is to control the process at the initial stage. After the glass is cut, excess fragments are beaten off from it, and the necessary part goes on to production. The glass itself and the production of glass products require large financial costs. Glass as a raw material is also very expensive. Therefore, nothing is left at the plant. All glass which is obtained as a result of natural work with it somehow breaks, or some fragments remain. It is kept in such large cardboard boxes and then goes back for recycling. And perhaps some medical products, medical instruments, or some kind of glassware will be made from this glass. The enterprise equipment allows to produce glass items of any complexity. The range of the plant today is quite wide, and most importantly, innovative developments are used in this production. Well, this is a special product of the enterprise. In professional language, it is called triplex. This is glass glued from 3 thin glasses. It is thick and heavy. The technology for the production of this glass is as follows. Each sheet is heated, then glued with a special film, and then the glued product goes into such a giant oven, where it is finally cooked at a temperature of 140 degrees. Such a product is divided into 2 categories: bulletproof glass and anti-vandal glass. That is, it becomes very strong, thick, and resistant to heavy external physical influences. Another area of the enterprise's work is the production of energy-saving glass. That is, the enterprise can manufacture products for the region with any climatic conditions. Although it is warm in the building, you walk past the window and the wind blows through huge cracks, as if you're sitting outside. Also, no matter how hard you try to heat the house, you need to do this constantly, since heat that has already been accumulated inside goes outside. To solve this problem, we were prompted to introduce the production of energy-saving windows to keep the heat inside, not let the cold through, and also keep the inside cool during hot periods and not let the heat through. At the same time, it is important to have high light transmittance, so that it's light and beautiful. After the glass is cut to the desired size and shape, it goes to a special installation that grinds the sharp edges of the material. This simplifies the process of loading products and makes it safe. Another very important physical feature of the glass products at this enterprise is that glass does not allow cold to pass through and does not release heat, which, for example, is very important for Nur-Sultan with its sharply continental climate. This device can be called the heart of the entire plant. Here the glass is tempered. It gets into the oven along these rollers, and here in this closed box, it heats up to a temperature of 650-700 degrees. Then certain physical processes take place in it, due to which the glass becomes very strong. Further, here the glass is already cooling down and then again goes onto the conveyor rollers. We can say that these products are almost ready for use. For us, our employees, it is a great honor to bear such responsibility and fulfill it with conscience. All our partners give only positive feedback. Millions of residents who use our products are satisfied. We, one might say, sleep peacefully at night, as we're sure that our customers, our consumers, they're safe, warm, and comfortable.
Наши клиенты, наши потребители, они в безопасности, в тепле и в уюте.
Today, this enterprise employs approximately 100 people. Many specialists have been trained to work with sophisticated technological equipment. The products of this plant today decorate many buildings in the capital of Kazakhstan, including the objects of the Expo 2017 exhibition. So, after a few days of work in Nur-Sultan and while exploring the production potential of local enterprises, I noticed that, in one way or another, all production in the Kazakh capital is associated with innovative developments, modern technologies, and some scientific ideas. Now I have come to an enterprise that plays a very important role in the construction industry of Kazakhstan. Ready-made blocks for building houses are produced here. To get a little first idea of the products manufactured here, there is such a special 3D presentation of this enterprise. Here you can see in 3D format the production lines, the location of production workshops, as well as see the finished product, how it looks, how the engineering networks are connected to it inside, and how the interior decoration is arranged. Also, one can see the composition of every block, what it consists from. Now, let's find out more about all this.
Этого самого блока, из чего он состоит, каких элементов. Ну что, теперь узнаем обо всем этом подробнее.
Building a house as a constructor. A few decades ago, this seemed impossible, but today the assembly of an apartment building from modular blocks is one of the innovative projects that is being implemented in Nur-Sultan. So how does this technology work? This enterprise is a very complex, multi-stage technical mechanism. Just imagine it features all the stages of the construction of a residential building. It all starts here. This is the reinforcement shop. The formation of the future frame of the building block is going on here. First, fittings are delivered to the plant. It can be of different thickness, depending on the number of stories and the configuration of the house. The fittings are divided into sectors, and then sophisticated equipment comes into play. The required dimensions are cut and then welded to make the skeleton of our product, that is, reinforced concrete modules. Several types of fittings are required for the construction of a residential building. For the first 5 floors, according to building codes, thicker reinforcement is needed. While above the 5th floor, you can use thinner fittings. In general, the technology and practice of such construction is applied in Kazakhstan for the first time. I mean block construction, when a residential building is not built from panels or bricks, but from ready-made concrete blocks. The plant has modern equipment. Modular building is a process that can be called environmentally friendly. About 80% of the work is carried out at the enterprise and not at the construction site. Thus, the plant optimizes the use of resources, reduces the amount of harmful emissions, and minimizes noise during the construction of houses. This is what the reinforcement looks like after the workshop, in the form of a mesh. But this is not yet the frame of the future concrete block. Now, it is necessary to make the floor, walls, and ceiling from this mesh. The volumetric block is a 5-plane structure, which consists of a slab floor, slab ceiling, and 3 walls, and 2 longitudinal. The molding material we have is expanded clay concrete of the B15, B20 grades. The advantage of expanded clay concrete is thermal conductivity, lightness, and strength. As soon as the reinforcing mesh is welded into the frame, it is put on such an iron module, which serves as the shape of the future concrete block. At each stage of production, specialists check the quality of work. The manufactured products enter the next stage only after the approval of the technical control department. In such large molding machines, the finished frame is then poured. To fill one frame, it takes about 20 cubic meters of expanded clay concrete. Why expanded clay concrete? Because this material has good heat storage properties. As a result, the finished building block will weigh about 20 tons, but that is not all. For the concrete block to take its final shape and get stronger, steam is supplied to it for 6 hours, and the concrete is heated to the temperature of 170 degrees. This concrete block was just recently in the oven, so to speak, in this molding machine. And you can see that steam is still coming from it. If concrete is heated to 170 degrees, then it hardens and takes on its strong properties. This manufacturing process achieves perfectly flat surfaces for walls, floors, and ceilings. The human factor is minimized due to multi-stage operational control and a high degree of enterprise automation. As a result, we get such a solid concrete block, which in the professional language of builders is called an inverted glass, because it still lacks one wall. When this wall is assembled, the block already looks completely different. The thickness of its walls is 10 centimeters, the ceiling is 8 centimeters, the floor is 17. Here we have a living room with a balcony of 20 square meters. If you connect 2 blocks, you get a one-room apartment of 40 square meters. The final stage of production is finishing. It is not surprising that a woman is in charge of this area, because only a woman can create real comfort in a modular concrete block. Maria Maskarova has been working in the company for more than 16 years, but she has recently been in charge of this production. When our work is completed, the final finishing is only going on at the facility. The walls are even, there is no need to level them, only to prime them, and the wallpaper is already applied. The modular technology is unique in that it makes it possible to carry out complex finishing in the factory. Thus, the enterprise excludes carrying out wet works at the construction site and optimizes many processes. Let's say one floor is assembled in one day. Accordingly, it has now become a reality to raise a 16-story complex in 5 months. Modular construction technology is a global trend. It is being introduced at this plant for the first time. Now, 80% of construction work can take place at the factory instead of on-site. This sets new trends in the entire construction industry in Kazakhstan, and Nur-Sultan has turned out to be the flagship of modern, innovative solutions. When the frame of your house has already been built, all engineering networks are connected, the final stage of construction remains. This is the external and internal finishing of the premises. Here is an enterprise that produces high-quality products. So, I came to an enterprise that provides products without which no construction site can do. These are dry building mixtures. It is they who help to make the houses of Kazakhstan citizens beautiful and comfortable. Let's find out how everything works here. This large-scale plant functions as one body. Every production site is very important here. All production begins with the receipt of raw materials. It is brought to the enterprise by train. So, as I said, certain conditions have been created for the producers of the Nur-Sultan Special Economic Zone. And first of all, they relate to the development of transport infrastructure. This enterprise, where dry construction mixtures are produced, has its own railway dead end, where raw materials for the production of products come every day. Now we are in the process of unloading raw materials that are used for the production of dry building mixtures at our own railway dead end, which can accommodate 10 cars. Every day, about 5 wagons of raw materials arrive for production. In total, this is about 350-400 tons of raw materials. First, raw materials, that is quartz sand, which serves for the production of dry building mixtures, are transported to the warehouse. Here, it does not linger for a long time because it can absorb moisture and significantly complicates the entire production process. So, after the raw materials for the production of dry building mixes have already been received, the enterprise is shipping them to the conveyor lines. Heavy equipment comes into play. Such a front loader can pick up 5 tons of sand at a time. Can you imagine how many dry mixes are produced here per day or per year? This figure is astronomical. Before turning into a building mixture, the sand must go through several stages. The front loader throws sand into a special kiln that rotates continuously. This process is mandatory. This is how the sand is prepared for further mixing. There are buckets inside the cylinder. When rotating, sand is picked up and thrown from above. Thus, when the sand passes from top to bottom, there is direct contact with the flame. The process of drying the sand is going on. The separation of moisture. The sand travel time from the beginning to the end of the cylinder is 20 minutes. It is very important to warm up the sand to the required temperature so that all moisture evaporates from it. The sand must be absolutely dry to exclude a reaction caused by water in the future building mixture, when all the components of the product mix and form a homogeneous mess. Not ordinary, but quartz sand is used for the production of dry building mixtures at the Nur-Sultan enterprise. Here on this conveyor belt, it comes straight from the oven. Look, it's very shallow and still hot. Why quartz sand and not ordinary? There are no clay and dust particles in quartz sand, so this sand is very well suited for filling dry construction mixture to ensure solidity and high quality.
Этот песок очень хорошо подходит для наполнения сухой строительной смеси, чтобы она была твердой и качественной.
Modern dry building mixtures are not just sand with cement, but a product of science-intensive technologies, the use of which allows both to increase labor productivity and to build houses much faster. A high-quality result makes our houses brighter, warmer, more comfortable, and more beautiful. After the sand has been brought to the desired state, it goes into special silos. This is the most important production step. All the necessary components of the future building mixture are mixed here in the right proportions. The whole process in this area is automatic, but under the close control of the operator. Indeed, if the proportions of the ingredients are violated, the mixture will lose its quality and become unusable. I control this process, ensuring that necessary items are produced exactly according to the program. If there is some kind of failure, I immediately notice it and stop or change to some other operation. When all the components are mixed, the mixtures are packaged in bags. For this, the plant operates two specialized automatic lines. Their production capacity is 120,000 tons of products per year. In fact, here are the two final production lines of dry building mixes. One of them produces cement-based mixtures. As you can see, it is painted gray. Cement makes these mixtures suitable for external finishing work and for finishing rooms with high humidity, be it bathrooms or pools. Cement, by the way, is resistant to temperature extremes, moisture and sun. Here, mixing and production of dry building mixes based on gypsum takes place. Gypsum is unique as it retains heat well, does not give it away, and is perfect for interior decoration, that is, for leveling ceilings and walls.
Безупречно подходит для внутренних отделочных работ, то есть выравниванию потолков и стен.
The plant also has its own laboratory, where each type of product is tested. Before putting the mixture into production, experts carefully check all of its physical properties. How it adheres to the surface, how the tiles are glued to it, how long it takes for the mixture to dry completely, and how does it hold the finishing material at the same time. The advantages of this glue are that you can apply the glue to a large wall surface, and within 40 minutes it retains its adhesive properties. Another advantage is that the glue has the function of thixotropy. When gluing tiles on a vertical base, you do not need to use supporting devices from below. The adhesive holds tiles of any size on a vertical base without slipping.
Клей удерживает любого размера плитку на вертикальном основании без сползания.
When dry building mixes are packaged in bags, they are sent to the finished product warehouse, because soon they will come for eager consumers who want to decorate their home, making it clean, light, and comfortable. We fully cover the domestic market of Kazakhstan. 80% is our share in Nur-Sultan, and of course we export our products to neighboring countries. We work very actively with Kyrgyzstan. We have partners in the city of Bishkek, in the city of Osh. In the near future, we want to enter southern Siberia. This is Novosibirsk, Biysk, and cover a little of the Urals. The products of this plant can rightfully be called innovative. When creating it, specialists use only high-quality materials and the latest scientific developments in the field of construction. Manufacturers give a guarantee for each of their mixtures so that it will serve you for a long time. We manufacture our products under the brand Made in Kazakhstan. This is very important for us, because we manufacture products that have waterproofing, thermal insulation, soundproofing properties. It is very important for us to produce high-quality products that meet all international quality standards. No, this is not a maze. This is a warehouse for finished products. 2,000 tons of dry building mixtures are stored here. Imagine, these are 2 million kilograms, which are ready to go to consumers' homes to make their lives more comfortable. Subscribe to the Kazakh TV channel on YouTube. Write comments, like, and do not forget to click on the bell to receive information about new releases. It was the Made in Kazakhstan project. My name is Anton Fyodorov, and I'll see you in the next episode.